Welcome back to the Dolor Factor. I really want to state here that we are not just sitting here, three women, having a discussion. We are talking about things that happen in our lives, talking about things that have happened in so many other people's lives, and some people are going through it right now and it's being swept under the carpet. I know that the ladies will join me in saying if we help just one person tonight, one person make a move or try to take a step to come away from the things that are harming them, that are hurting them, that are making them feel unhappy, we will be happy. We are not just sitting here for the sake of it. We would like to help someone to get out of a situation they don't like.
Definitely.
Yeah? Will you join me with that?
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, it's the whole power of one concept. So
Thank you. Okay, and we'll talk
Yeah.
about that concept later. But Velika, tell us what happened to you.
s- when I was 3, we, my mom and I, went through a lot of domestic violence from my biological father at that time. Mainly my mom, but me seeing it, so I had the secondary trauma from that. And then we moved away, and I had a situation of molestation with my uncle, who was 9 at the time. I was 3, he was 9. And so we spoke a little bit of that the last time you and I were together here, about the effects that it had on me from 3 for a very long time, maybe up until 19, I think. That's when I started getting stronger about the things I was facing inside. But then before 19 came 17, where I was molested again by a different situation. It was a friend of mine at the time. So there was the molestation, of course, there was betrayal on that level with a friend. So we went through those two in the last, and I think the big issue was that I had expressed to you something that happened where he tried to confront me about it twice after, and that's what Bashana did not know. So we spoke about that in the last show, but what we did not get to was the third time, which was at 24. This time I was moved away. I was at school in New York, and I was moving house, and this was a guy that I liked at the time. We had gone out a few, but at this time we were not. There was nothing going on between us. He was just a friend at that time, and I was moving house, and I needed a friend to help me move, and so he said yes, and so he was helping me, and then we, it was the end of the day. We had brought up a whole bunch of things up the stairs, and then he tried to take advantage of me at that point in time, and that was another very difficult, totally different experience and different state of mind, because where I thought I was so much stronger than the last 2 times this had happened to me was I was so shocked that this was happening to me with him again. When I say again, happening to me again with this person. And also it was happening the day I was moving in. So there I was afraid. I had been through so much in that year with moving house. I had so many bad experiences with landlords. So it was horrible because my landlord was passing up and down. And I tried to be silent so that they wouldn't think I was that kind of girl.
Oh.
And that was the most difficult part of that experience.
How do you find time to think rationally in a moment like that?
Because you know what you've been through. Because you're in that protective mode and you know what you've been through. Like I just said, I had been through so much in that year. I was moving in the winter. I couldn't risk it. I had to get that apartment. And landlords are very strict about things, and I couldn't risk it. They had a baby right there. I mean, I thought I could make noise, like I could, but then I said no, I can't, and so I just stayed. I was just quiet, and I just shut down. And of course, I'd been through it before, so I guess everything just shut down. And so that happened.
But when you said you'd been through it before, that was molestation. But this
Yes.
one
No,
was
this
that
was
still
it was
molestation?
still molestation.
Okay.
It was, in fact, it's funny. It's very interesting that you're asking me that, because I guess there was minimal penetration. And I've actually never had the chance to say it now that you're actually asking me this directly. And so I guess it was rape now that you're actually asking me the question. Either way, it resulted in an STI. That was the worst part of it for me. I didn't see him again. That, you know, he left. That was it for me and him. Whereas the other one, like I explained to you before, I tried to carry on like nothing ever happened, because at that stage of my life, I was hoping so much that it didn't happen. I was living so much in the denial that I just didn't want to believe that this friend would have betrayed me in that way. So this one, I knew it happened, but for me, I had bigger issues to worry about, because now I was technically still a virgin with an STI. How do you explain that to a boyfriend? I mean,
How do you? No, I mean, seriously, how do you get on with your life? Because it's one situation that you've had to deal with in so many different situations.
I looked at her because that's been a big thing in our relationship, where it's like, oh, I like this guy, and like she's always like, well, you don't have to tell him. You don't have to tell him right away. And I'm like, but how do you not say, like, you're gonna, I mean, the way I am with intimate relationships, it's important to put everything out, just to be honest from the beginning, because if that's the way you're going to go, that's the way you're going to go. So that's been a big, I mean, we can get into it.
Bashana, why would you tell her to wait?
Because I have a saying, and I'll just say it that's not your man until he's your man. And I feel liking somebody is not sufficient to divulge situations if you don't trust the person fully, or if you might be, I would not say compensating, but I would say your interest, which belongs to you, is not for me. This is my personality. While you're getting to know somebody, I feel that it needs to also be an equal thing. I don't think also, even when saying that, I'm contradicting where I say I don't feel like the person needs to say, okay, I'll give you a dark secret and now you give me one. It's not like that. But at the same time, I feel like trust is earned, and not until your relationship actually gets to a particular point where you feel that it's information that the person should know. I don't think it's one of the first on the table things that you put out there. Of course, you know your own personal boundaries, and I think you know when you're gonna kiss. I think everybody knows when you're gonna have your first kiss. Everybody knows when you're gonna go to bed with that person.
I disagree with that. I don't think you know. Sometimes they just take you by surprise. You know,
especially when you. It depends on where you are, because she was still a virgin at 24. So I think it was a choice to be a virgin at 24. You know, because she believes in celibacy, and I think it's a choice. I mean, my young adulthood experiences are totally different from hers, where I felt that I was choosing, but at the end of the day, I was just going on the flow. You know, yeah. So I think with the strength of celibacy, I think it's a concerted choice. It's a choice. So if you feel like the person is coming on to you, they're kissing you, but you know you don't want to go to bed with them, you're gonna stop.
Not necessarily. I disagree with you there. You know, I really do. And I want to continue this line of conversation. And I would like really for you to just sit aside and listen to what she's saying, because maybe you might see her in a different context by the time I finish with her. This is Real Factor. See you soon.